Go to TAPgiles.com to learn dreams, engage my services, and support the channel.
Yeah, so that the thing with the counter is that it doesn't loop by itself, so we'll have to add that. So actually, instead of using a counter, because we want it to loop, we're going to use some maths to make it loop a different way. So straight into the variable. So let's have another variable for the color, and then I'll have a chip to do all this, so it's not it's all kind of hidden away, all the crazy. Right, we need to have an input for different things, like going up and down. So this will go up as into the next one, and this will go down to the previous one. And we'll wire those in there, or we'll just move these. So that into there, and to there. And this is the current value, and that should start at 0. There we go. Right, so we want to, when we add, when we go up, we want to add. So let's do that. But we want to just do this once, so we need to make it into a pulse. Let's get a signal manipulator in pulse mode. So this means when it goes from not pushing up to pushing up, it will send a brief signal, which is a pulse, and we can put that into there and add that pulse. So this pulse will be the value 1, but it will just last for a single logic frame. And then we'll add that to the current value, but we also, so we haven't actually set it at all yet. We want to do some more maths to it to make sure it's going to loop properly. And we want to know how many of these there are so we can change it in the future. So there's 12, so I'll have, or the highest, there's 12 different ones. So let's set this value slider to say 12, and that will be used in our calculations. If we just delete that and have this fake value over here, so we can test out things. So if this was on, so it's currently at 4, and then we go up, then it should flicker to 1 above. Let's make it a bit clearer. If we get a number displayer and have that be powered by when this changes, like that, then it will just flash the number briefly. So hopefully you can see that it's flashing a 5 because it's 4 plus the 1 from this when we go up, and then when we go down we want to subtract 1. So if we put that into another one of these, but do it in a different way, so we're still going to do a pulse, but instead of sending a 1, which is the default, we'll send a different value by changing this. So it'll send this upper output threshold. So we just move these down, move these round, so that this is still the upper one because it started up there. And if we drag this down to -1, now it will be pulsing out -1. So let's try that now. So up is 5, and then down, let's wire that into there as well. And I want to have that still pulse on as well. Okay. Up is 5, and down is 3, because that's 1 below 4. So that's what we want. But then we want to do some maths stuff in here. Yeah, so what if this was already 0? If we go up, we want to go to 1, and if we go down, we want to go not -1, but to positive 12, or positive 11. So if we actually grab that and do a quick test down here. So if we're on 0 and then we subtract 1, then we're left with -1. So if we're down here and we add this number, the 12, if we add 12 like that, then that'll be the right number. if we wire into there. So it will be 11 because it will have wrapped round to the top. But then if we add 1 instead, that will be going too far to 13. Or, yeah, why is it saying? Yeah, because we're adding 1 to 0. So we've got 1 and then we're adding 12 to it all the time. So if we then use remainder after division, which is here, of 12, then it will round down to loop around from 0 to 11, basically. And then we wire that into there, and we're back down to 1. So that now we can add 1 to 0 and get 1, and subtract 1 from 0 and get 11. So it's kind of looping around like that. But what if this was up at 11 already? Then we want it to, and we want to subtract, then it goes down to 10, that's fine. And if we want to add 1, then we want it to go to 0, so that's fine. So that's about all we need is this bit kind of added in there. So let's see if that works. So up from 0 is 1, down from 0 is 11, that's good. And then let's put this up to 11.
Thanks to Vorium for the suggestion, by the way.
Okay, so up from 11 is 0, so that's wrapped around, and down from 11 is 10. So that's just perfect. But again, if we like change how many of these there are, we want this maths to change as well. So we'd have to add that and remainder after division that as well. Just make sure this is on the plug. So if you use L1 and X, it will be a plug symbol and it will say overwrite, and that's what we want, and that will just set the value properly. And now we don't need these, we just want to set the variable value. So wire the variable in there again, don't need that. And now we can put the variable to set color continuously and wire that into there. So let's see if that works now. And that's not affecting that though, so we need to just watch this number. So up, and then it should wrap to 0, and then down, and then wrap to 11. Cool. So now we want to use that. So again, we want to divide by. Let's have this outside here actually. So that we can just send it in and keep this setting out here. And then we can divide the current value by how many of these options there are. And then wire that into there. Oh. I'll make sure those are on the plug again. And now it should wrap around. Cool. So that's how you can make a wrapping variable that goes through integers and then wraps back round to the beginning or back round to the end. And in this case, it will change the color to those different selections that we had, and let the player do that.
Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something interesting. Go to patreon.com/TAPgiles to learn something new every day.